Every chick that wants attention. You ain't gotta respond to every text. You don't have to pick the phone up every time a woman calls. Just because a woman is in your city, just because a woman wants to go have coffee, just because a woman is hot during that time of the month and wants to spend that weekend at your crib, bro. We gotta start having more sexual discipline, man. Hey, these brothers. Man, I was sitting there thinking about two problems that we have as men in general, right? On one hand, man, we have a problem with getting our bag up, getting our money right, setting our family up for generational wealth. That whole conversation, right? And on the other hand, we have a problem with a lot of our women, right? Like we're actually living in I'll call it a whole pandemic, when that's really not the word. Pandemic is not, but it sounds right? We're living in like a whole pandemic. I was talking to a young brother the other day. A young brother, man, I want to say he was 24, 25 when him and I first started talking a few years ago, 3 years ago. Talked to him over the holidays, man. He was like, bro, like I'm out of school. I'm trying to have a wife. I'm trying to have children. His main thing is kids. He wants kids bad. But the brother was like, man, all these women are hoes. Like there are no suitable mates anymore. Like even the good girls are hoes, man. And it's easy for men that are older, like, you know, me, like men that have been married before, men that already have kids, to kind of look at this world and just sit back and say, you know what, man, just let this son bitch burn. You know what I'm saying? Just let it burn. But we gotta start understanding how it looks from younger men, and not even younger men. We gotta start looking at what men that aren't even here yet will still be affected by. And to be honest, man, it's our responsibility of men today to fix these problems. So on one hand, man, we got the bag that's jacked up. People don't know how to. And on the other hand, we got the women are jacked up. But I'm telling you today, brothers, that to fix both of these things is the same cure. The same antidote, the same pill will fix both of these, right? And I'll be honest, man, it's not because I know this, not because of the way I've lived, because I'm in the same generation as y'all. I know this, man, because of the generation behind us. I know it because of what I can see coming up. Y'all heard me talking about my son and his friends all the time, and I study how these young men move, and I see the results they get, right? I was on the phone with this is probably a month ago. I was on the phone with Felix. Shout out to Felix. Exit Strategies, Power Circle, the whole shebang. I'm on the phone with Felix, man. We FaceTiming. We video chatting, man. And I'm walking around the block getting my steps in. Probably about a month or so, give or take. And I'm walking around the block getting my steps in, man. You know, and I come around the corner coming to the house. And brother, I'm on the phone with Felix. I said, bro, let me hit you back. I'm gonna hit you back, man. I got a problem. And I can see maybe 6, 7 houses down, 8 houses down the road coming up to my house. I can see my driveway was full. And I get closer, man, you got Benzes, you got Beamers, you got motorcycles, you got Lexus, and I'm like, bro, what in the hell is going on? It is my son and all of his friends, man, the ones I've never met, bro. And I'm just sitting there as I'm walking to the house, I'm studying these brothers. Brother, they are on a whole nother league than we were when we were 18 years old, 17 years old, 19 years old. And the fact that they move different, they're getting a completely different result that not only did we not get, that a lot of us men aren't getting today as grown men. These brothers are focused on their bag. They're getting it. Their work ethics are silly. Their ability to start small businesses is silly. And I was sitting there observing these brothers, man. And I've been observing these young men for a minute. And the one thing that they have that's fixing everything for them is they're ignoring women, bro. They're completely ignoring women. You got to understand, brother, going back to the 80s, the 90s, when we were younger men, it was the very opposite. It was all about who's your girlfriend. It was all about having the Janet Jackson posters on your wall. It was all about having the Playboy models on your wall. It was all about going out on the weekends looking for the hoes. Like that was our motive, but we don't understand that way of thinking has screwed up a lot of our lives. So now that we're 30 years old, 35 years old, 40, 50 years old, and the bag is jacked up and the money situation is jacked up, it's strictly because our energy was focused on women and not on self. Women and not on self. So when you talk about the bag and you talk about the whole pandemic, man focusing on himself fixes both of these. It fixes both of these. Like kind of want to say, kind of like when Napoleon in Outwitting the Devil said, a man that can control his sexual appetite shall never see poverty. Shall never see poverty. But brother, not only is that true, but at the same time, it corrects the sour moving women. Because I don't know about how y'all, when y'all were in high school, man, but like when I was in high school, man, like you could see the little girls that were fast. You go to a basketball game, you go to a football game, you could see the little young women that were living wild. You could see that culture. That culture, I'm not saying it don't exist in no school, but that culture doesn't exist like it used to be. Like back in high school, man, there were always 3 or 4 or 5 little young women that were already pregnant, that were fast, but that almost don't exist. When I go to these school functions, man, these women are walking upright because they have to. They can look online and see the Cardis and the Sexy Reds and all this stuff, and they can see the women that are in their 24s, 25, 26s following that suit. But a lot of these younger women are seeing the writing on the wall. They're saying the men of our class, the men of our generation, don't play that. These men are focused on themselves. So us moving, shaking booty cheeks is doing nothing. Like they're saying this. They're saying at some point these men are going to be older men looking for women, and all the tricks are gone. Not saying all the tricks, because there are still a lot of young men that are still chasing cheeks. But I'm telling you, bro, this is the remedy for it all. And again, why I realize now that a lot of men of my generation, our generation, I'm talking 30 years old, really 35 years old up, while they're getting the result, while they're sitting there watching women pass them in their careers, watching women start businesses, watching women do all these successful things, it's because they're focused, they're pouring all their energy into hunting these women down instead of focusing on themselves. And I know a lot of these women coaches and relationship experts are always saying, oh, well, a man should be moving like this. If a man really wants you and wants to do a certain thing, he should be chased. Brother, that's bullshit. If you're in a state where you're chasing women, I don't care what coach told you that, it's not going to end up well. It is not going to end up like you think. You have to understand the triggers that are going off in a woman's mind when you are pursuing her like that. It's not even natural, right? But get back to what I was saying. Like a lot of us have to understand, and this is what's wild right here. Like there are a few brothers that I know personally that are abstaining. Like men that are saying, hey, bro, I'm not finna just be in these streets just knocking everything down. Like if I'm gonna entertain a woman on that level, then she gotta vibrate at a certain frequency. That, and I can't believe we don't talk about this more. There are a lot of men I know in the power circle, successful, handsome, well-groomed, clean cut, nice whip, nice crib men that are saying, bro, I'm good. I'm good, man. Like, yeah, tenders, they look good, man. We got to the sports bar, we go to the Western name, like they looking good. But bro, I'm on some other shit now. I'm telling you, man, and I can see these men's lives transforming. And all they're doing is following the same business model that I see these young men following. But these young men are changing the game. And I know a lot of times, bro, and I might have said this a month or so ago, I know these young men look to us for guidance, as they should. And we should be giving them the guidance, man. But a lot of times we need to be looking at them and kind of learning what we didn't do right or what we don't know. Because you got to understand, they're looking up at us and they're looking at the things we did right, the knowledge they can get from us. But at the same time, they're looking at us and say, you know what? I see how the old schooler was moving wrong. Let me fix this shit because I don't want that result. So every once in a while, man, we got to turn and look back and say, what are y'all brothers doing right that we can incorporate? And I'm going to tell you, man, and I don't know if it's a reset or what you want to call it, but these guys are changing the game by simply focusing on self. Focusing on the hierarchy, focusing on how I'm going to move forward, focusing on how can I be more present in the moment, and being more present in the moment and focusing on self, man, is changing their lives. I told my son this quite often. I told him this once or twice. I said, if I die today, bro, you good, like you solid. If I die today, man, I'm going to tell you this. If I'm on my deathbed, the last thing I'm thinking about is my son going to be all right? Like, did I tell him everything that I should have told him? And the answer to did I tell him everything is no. But I think I've given him enough. I think he has enough instilled in him. I think his mom has given him enough to say, you know what? You good. You know in general how to move now. And that same blueprint, brother, I'm telling you, is how all of us men need to operate. Because I know a lot of brothers, man, that are trying to figure out, like, why is my bag not right? I'm grinding, I'm hustling, I'm doing all this stuff. It's like, yeah, but when you're not grinding, you're taking that same God energy that you were pouring into yourself. Now you're distributing it into every chick that wants attention. Every chick that wants attention. You ain't got to respond to every text. You don't have to pick the phone up every time a woman calls. Just because a woman is in your city, just because a woman wants to go have coffee, just because a woman is hot during that time of the month and wants to spend that weekend at your crib, bro. We got to start having more sexual discipline, man. And I'm not talking to all y'all. I'm talking to forward moving men. I'm not talking to brothers that just want to live mundane lives and get his rocks off every week. I'm not even making content for them brothers anymore. If y'all are still here, brother, I'm glad y'all are here. Brother, I hope y'all get on board. But I'm not even talking to brothers like that anymore. That's not even, y'all shouldn't even vibrate here if y'all are still here. I'm talking now strictly to brothers that are not only trying to maximize their lives, but set up life for the generations behind us. Like if a man, like, I'm gonna tell you this, I can't even vibrate with a man now that's not moving in an energy of I want the world to be a better place even when I'm gone type energy. It's a different energy, man. Because a lot of men, and I'm not saying it's bad, but a lot of men live for now. I want to live now. I want to be able to get my stuff now. I want to live like a kingpin, me. And I'm not saying there's wrong with that. I mean, you were put here to create whatever you want. But a small percentage of us brothers, man, are looking past the finish line. A lot of us are looking 2 or 3 generations down the road. A lot of us are looking at our great grandkids that we'll never meet. And trying to put things in place, try to build family values, try to make our kids a certain way so that the people behind us can look and put I always use the scenario of I want my grandkids, great grandkids, to have like the highest thing I can even think about. It's not about obtaining nothing here. It's about 2 or 3 generations behind me having a picture on the wall of me and saying, you know what, like that's your great uncle, your great grandfather, your great whatever that changed the game for our family. Like now our family name has substance. Now our family name means something. Now our family lineage, like we move a certain way now. Like we just operate in a different frequency, and it all started with that man right there. That's my reward. That's my reward. They can say, hell, he lived in a cardboard box. They can say he rode a bike to work. I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about them saying, oh, well, your great Uncle Soul had a crib like this and he traveled. I don't care. I want them to say these are the values he instilled in us. These are the things he went through so we didn't have to go through that. And I'm gonna tell you, man, a lot of men don't understand that. Like, and I say like this, like, I get it when you're a younger man and you're 20 and 25 and you're just kind of wilding out, living life. But at a certain age, bro, when y'all brothers hit 40 years old, if you hit 40 and you aren't transitioning to a legacy mindset, brother, you're living wrong. You're living on some old values. Right? So all I'm saying is the cure for a lot of things we're experiencing. Like, again, having a lot of issues with the women, a lot of guys having issues getting the bag up. It's the same pill to cure both illnesses. And it's focusing on self. It's suppressing that sexual desire that clouds the mind. That clouds the mind, man. So all I'm saying is, brother, going into the year of your Lord 2025, man, like if you aren't there, get there. If you aren't in that mindset, get there, because it's going to change everything, brothers.